And welcome back to the We Sell Restaurant Show. Our show has three segments each week. The first two includes the experts on our panel joining us today, and the last segment is our restaurant reality segment. This is the time when we give the full inside scoop and unbridled truth about buying or selling a restaurant. We didn't sell hundreds of restaurants by being afraid of the four-letter words in the industry: the F word for fail and the S word for sale. Robin, now we're back. Tell us a bit about our guests, and let's throw it back at them.
Well, we are joined today by two excellent liquor license attorneys with significant practices who have been filling us in on so much good information. I want to throw one question out there, and that is, someone who actually is, as Michelle was sharing with us before the break, who does really all the things wrong. Michelle, tell us the end of that story. What happened to that operator, and were they able to be safe because of their records and their processes, or did they go down in flames?
Unfortunately, that operator went down in flames. So all four violations occurred within a span of about 30 minutes, primarily because the operator trusted the promoter and also relied upon assumptions, because this operator's restaurant was very close to another restaurant that was doing similar promotions but wasn't in the same jurisdiction. So the two jurisdictions had different laws with respect to happy hour requirements, and they were very different. So this operator ended up losing their license, having their license revoked completely. And unfortunately, in that jurisdiction, a revocation goes against the land. So that building could not be used as a restaurant couldn't be used to sell alcohol for another year.
Wow.
That is amazing. And you used a word that that comes up often in the industry, is those use of those promoters. And, that's a show in and of itself. But with promoters, trust is a word you probably want to withhold, and verify is something you want to make sure of, particularly with folks who understand the industry the way the two of you do. And that idea that the jurisdiction, just one street over or across the street, someone can be subject to different laws is critical.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's where you have to be very careful when you have a promoter or any kind of a marketing company trying to propose and do something at your restaurant. That's where I think an attorney or having a consultation with someone who's very knowledgeable about the laws in that particular jurisdiction, it can be so valuable to help make sure that if you're going to be bringing in a group and hosting some sort of a promotional group, that you are protected. It's your business, it's your license on the line, and not to necessarily rely on the promoter saying this will be fine.
Sure.
There are good ones out there who know and who are compliant and are aware of where the lines are that can't be crossed, and then there are other promoters out there that aren't.
Absolutely.
And one thing I'd just like to add very quickly to Grace's comment is that even internally, promotions that restaurant owners may not even think about, they need to think about. Mother's Day, we're going to give a mimosa to every mother for brunch. Well, if you can't sell alcohol before 12:30, then you could get into issues with both the state and the local government. Your local government may also prohibit you from giving away free alcohol. So there's almost any promotion that you can think of that deals with alcohol is something that you would want to become familiar with. And these laws are easy to become familiar with. You don't have to spend a lot of money to do it.
Wow, that sounds like this whole thing could be a full show already on that. I mean, this is such good information, but I want us to go into sprint mode here. I'm going to have some questions. I want quick, precise answers. Average time to get a liquor license in most jurisdictions across this country. Give us a range. Anyway.
It could be 2 weeks to 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
Really vary.
Okay. Michelle?
Varies across the board.
Okay. What about cost for a license, and also a cost about facilitator? For someone like you, what would be a price range? Michelle, go first.
Again, varies across the board. If someone is getting a license in a particular jurisdiction, I might tell them to go and do it themselves because they don't need to spend the money on me. It's that easy. Other jurisdictions where it's going to be that 6-month jurisdiction, it might run them up to $10,000 in legal fees.
Wow.
Wow.
And the cost of the liquor license can vary enormously.
Absolutely.
You might be able to get a liquor license for only less than $1,000, but other licenses, depending on the market, if it's a restricted type of license where you have to buy a license, you have to actually go and buy one on the market, you could be looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And I think that just really is a launching board for what the costs are, because that three-pronged approach with a written policy, the training, and the monitoring all comes in on the back end, and those are ongoing costs. Obviously, alcohol can be highly profitable, but you need to calculate into those costs on the back end the programs to keep you safe. Do you girls, both of you women, agree?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that Eric, do you have one more quick fire question that you could throw at them?
Well, I think one you try to dodge, but I got to come back with it. Give me a range. I mean, I know you guys may charge by the hour, a fixed price. Listeners out there, what should they expect? I know it's going to be a broad range, but give me some numbers on what you guys should be spending on somebody to help them with their liquor license process.
I think this is Grace. I think if it's not a jurisdiction that requires a ton of work, it could be as low as $1,500 in legal fees for my firm to prepare the application, get all the clearances and the paperwork together to file, work with the agency to get the license issued.
Okay, Michelle?
On the high end, if you're dealing with public hearings, multiple meetings, a lot of back and forth, it could be over $10,000.
Okay, we're going to leave it at that for now. I want to make sure everybody knows that if you want to find more information on this topic, re-listen to the show, and also find contact information for these incredible experts that joined us today, you can find all of that online at WeSellRestaurants.com. Our website has a link to each radio show every single week. Also, remember to take a moment and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/WeSellRestaurants. We will post both the audio and video of today's interviews with these expert guests, along with their contact information, email, and their websites. Find us on Twitter at Sell Restaurants, and of course, we're on LinkedIn as well. We Sell Restaurants is your industry authority and source for information, and we are the restaurant brokers, Eric and Robin Gagnon.